We welcome you into a fresh hour of CBS Sports HQ. He's Joe Musso. I'm Kiana Martin, and we've got a full slate on the schedule. Baseball highlights coming your way. We head to Cincinnati to take you to Bengals training camp, but we got to begin things on the links.
That's right. The final day of the PGA Tour regular season left the race for one down to one, but those vying for top 70 down to the final moments. It's the final day of the PGA Tour season. All coming your way and coming to a head on CBS. Final round at the Wyndham Championship, where Cameron Young enters a 5-shot leader, the 7-time runner-up, looking to secure his first career win. We would bid farewell to Ian Baker Finch throughout the day, his final day in the booth, and they gave him something to celebrate. A fellow Australian giving IBF one last go. From 179, Carl Phillips to the bottom, your shot of the day. Hole-in-ones make the highlight. Those are the rules. I don't make them. Phillips' first career hole-in-one on the PGA Tour, the 21st ace we saw this season. As for Young, in trouble early. Lengthy look at par to start. The pressure of a first career victory certainly felt. Work to be done for bogey. He would make the comebacker. Still drops one to 19 under, lead down to 4. Maybe the smelling salts he needed, because what came next? That of a champion. After a birdie at 2, another at 3, the putter all week long leading the field. Young just getting started for 3 in a row, pours another one in at the 4th. Then at number 5, another birdie look from 7 feet. Takes a 7-shot lead. Young in full stride towards win number 1. Not done. 5 in a row. Are you kidding me? Alert the engraver. Young's ready for his moment, goes out in 31 on Sunday, a coronation from there. The race at the top all but settled. The race for top 70, interesting to the last moments. Davis Thompson looking for a spot in the playoffs, and in that all-elusive top 70 here at the par 5 15th. A long birdie look. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. A huge putt for Thompson, fired up as that moves him inside the top 70. Just a projection. Got to get it home. Matty Schmid entered the week as your bubble boy, 70th in the standings. For a 3rd straight birdie to close, Schmid ends with a flurry. It's the Moops. No, it's the Moors. Projected 72nd despite those efforts. Gonna need some help. Fan favorite Gary Woodland vying for his first FedEx Cup playoff berth since undergoing brain surgery in 2022. The always celebrated major champion. A big one there at number 17, but still needs something special at the last. Projected 72nd, essentially has to hole it from the fairway on the 72nd. And he knew it was not it. Woodland finishes T23 at 9 under, finishes 72nd in the standings, just outside of qualifying for those playoffs. Back to Thompson at the par 4 18th, a par putt to stay inside the top 70. Oh no. Never scared it. With a bogey on the final hole of the season, Thompson drops out of the playoffs, and you can see it on his face. Finishes 71st. That means Matty Schmid, with those 3 birdies to close, inside the top 70 at 68th. Back to your leader, Cameron Young, a 6-shot lead, heading to the final green, tries to finish in style, but burns an edge. Almost poetic with the way things were falling with that putter throughout the week. Still, a multi-shot win and his first career PGA Tour win. Taps it in with Dad watching. Cameron Young, your winner at the 2025 Wyndham Championship. Young with the win becomes the 1,000th ever winner on the PGA Tour, so another moment of distinction here for the 7-time runner-up, now a winner. This will also climb him up those FedEx Cup standings from projected 40th to now 16th as we head to Memphis.
You have been knocking on the door so often. You just ripped it off its hinges. What does it feel like to officially be a PGA Tour winner?
Yeah, it's I've been waiting for it for a while. Yeah, I mean, I never thought I'd really be that emotional about it, but you know, it's the end of my 4th season, and I've had my chances, never quite like this, and I wasn't going to let it get away from me today.
This is an emotional place for you to get it done. Your dad has been walking with you every step of the way. You're in the backyard of where you went to school. We've been hearing Go Deeks all around this place. How special and meaningful is it to get it done in North Carolina?
Yeah, it's great. My dad's here, which is really nice. Unfortunately, it's one of a couple times my whole family's not here, so I'm missing them and looking forward to seeing them. They're going to meet me in Memphis, so yeah, I mean, a great spot to do it. I think it's a great test of golf, and I proved that, I can play really well around here. I did it last year, and happy to give myself another chance this year and get it done.
I know you also said you have a lot to prove to U.S. Ryder Cup captain Keegan Bradley.
Yeah.
What did you prove today with your performance and having a considerable lead, which is not always easy, and never letting up?
Yeah. Obviously, that goal is, or that team is a goal of many of us, and I've tried to put that in the back of my mind is where I see myself in the middle of September after the season. And yeah, I mean, I obviously would love the chance to play, and I've got some more opportunities to really earn my way on the team. But if you have to look back at something I've done this season that's a positive, I think winning by a few is a good one.
By more than a few. Cameron, congratulations. You are forever now a PGA Tour champion. You have earned this one.
A career moment never to be undersold. Cameron Young 7 times before a runner-up on tour. This time, the big check and the trophy as he joins a list of first-time winners this season on tour. The aforementioned joins us now. One time for the road, we say hello to a fixture here on HQ Post Round. 2008 Masters champion Trevor Immelman. Trev, I say it every week. I certainly mean it. It's great to be with you, my friend, and a great moment here for Cameron Young. I'm enamored by the beginning of this card, the shaky bogey to start and then 5 in a row. What sort of statement was that to you?
Yeah, it really is interesting because all those second place finishes, and overnight everybody's wondering, okay, is this his time? Is he going to be able to get it done? He's got the big 5-shot lead, which in a certain sense adds even more pressure because now it's his to lose, and he goes out and bogeys the first hole, and you're like, oh boy, is he in for a long day here? What is going to happen? And what does he do next? He rattles off 5 straight birdies, and really from that point on he was in such commanding position that he just had to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and it became a bit of a coronation. And it's so much fun to see somebody with that much potential. For the longest time we've been saying, gosh, this guy is so good, the sky is the limit for him, and this week he proved it. I mean, he just absolutely blew away this field at the Wyndham Championship.
You take win number 1 whenever it presents itself, but the when of this one seems very important as well. To get it in the last tournament of the regular season, to jump up to 16th and get that inside track to Eastlake. How important was it to have this momentum, as we've seen players before carry into the playoffs?
Yeah, it's massive. And I actually look back to the Canadian Open, Moose. He had an outside chance to win there, finished in the tie for 4th, and then backed it up with another top 5 at the US Open. So the signs have been there that he's starting to find a little something. And then he put it all together here this week, and now jumps to 16th in the FedEx Cup. So he's looking to make a deep run into the playoffs. And you got the Ryder Cup. Now he absolutely has to be squarely on Keegan Bradley's radar. So it's going to be a real interesting and fun next few months for Cameron Young, and just 28 years old. Who knows where he could go from here? I mean, this guy has all the shots. He just dominated the field off the tee and on the greens this week. The putter has become a weapon this season. He's in the top 10 in putting, whereas last season he was 145th. So a complete player right now, and it's going to be fun to see where he takes this win now that he's got that extra confidence.
Well, Trev, I want to take this opportunity to thank you and all the hardworking women and men that bring Golf on CBS to life each and every week. A hat tip to you all for what you've done across the country and at times across the world. But on this day, it does feel appropriate to spotlight one as we bid farewell to a 30-year career in the booth for Ian Baker Finch. A beautiful tribute throughout the day here, Trevor. But one more time, what does Finchy come to mean to you?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, we're losing one of our favorites, unfortunately, with Ian Baker Finch deciding to retire. The booth right now is filled with about 25 people, people that are feeling a little sadness. There's a lot of tears that are being shed, but we're just so happy for our friend, our great friend. He's had such a brilliant career. The longevity of being able to play at the highest level, be a major champion, and then step into this role as really one of the best broadcasters that CBS has ever had. And we're going to miss our friend Finchy. And today was really a brilliant moment for us to all say goodbye to him and show how much we appreciate everything that he does for us, how he keeps us all in rhythm in the 17th tower. And gosh, we love him a lot, and we're sad to see him go, but we're so excited for the future and the years that him and Jenny and the kids and the grandkids have. He's one of our favorites. We love him.
A celebration in order, and I will not get in the way of that. One last time, Trevor Immelman, a thank you to you personally for what you do for our show here each and every week. Appreciate you, pal.
Thanks, Moose. Have a good night.
Get that man on a golf course with his clubs this time. Trevor Immelman, the great one, joining us here on HQ. Every single week we do it, and every single week he brings something special. It was a special week for Cameron Young, who captures his first career victory in his 94th start, a record performance for the now one-time winner on tour.
In record fashion, Cameron Young wins the Wyndham Championship of 2025, his first victory on the PGA Tour after 7 second-place finishes. An old head on young shoulders indeed. What a win. Father, Dad, so proud.
Where do I go? I've never done this before. Congratulations.
The final call for Ian Baker Finch, and some comedic relief there from Cameron Young. Doesn't know what to do. What do I do with my hands? A winner now at the Wyndham. Doug Bell joining the conversation. Rick Gehman back for more. Doug, emphatic is not a word often used around Cameron Young in the way that he golfs his ball, but this was a emphatic finish to his first career win. What do you take from it?
Well, I've been walking inside the ropes with him for 4 years now, guys, and I've seen him lose a lot of close calls, but he's never had a week like this with the putter. And with the eyeball test, off the tee irons, he's as good as anybody, but the putter has always held him back. And that's one thing you can say about a lot of young players. He's only 28 years of age, but as Rick mentioned, gaining over 10 shots, strokes gained putting was a phenomenal week, the best one he's ever had in his career. And if you keep it going, he hasn't changed the putter, the specs, the weight, or anything like that. He just captured it this week, lightning in a bottle. If you can keep that lid on for a while, guys, this could be a very special playoff run for one Cameron Young.
And what I love to think about is, clearly, he's not going to gain 10 strokes putting every single week, right? He's not going to have his career putting week every single week. The good news is he doesn't have to, right? When you ask, what is Cam Young great at? He's a great driver of the golf ball. He didn't hit his wedges particularly awesome on Sunday, but he's usually better with a short club in hand. He doesn't need to be a prolific putter to be a guy who has a lot of success and wins once or twice a year on the PGA Tour. That's how strong his skill set is. So this is just all, for me, an added bonus where we saw all the firepower that he has from tee to green over the course, specifically the first 54 holes, and then a little bit into Sunday as well. It just heats up like a microwave. It's unbelievable how quickly he can rattle off 3 or 4 birdies in a row. So there's a lot to like about this. You know, he's aged in a way where he's probably still entering his golfing prime. He's got such a good demeanor. He grew up in the game. There's a lot to really like. If he was a prospect in baseball, you know, we'd be grading him very highly for the next decade or so. We don't do it the same way in golf, but there's certainly a lot to like.
He does wear that logo on him, or did at one time, and quite a prospect here at 28 years old. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to pop in the show, but the show belongs to Cam Young on this day. And Doug, you take us under the ropes each and every week, and we're so appreciative of that. But take me to some of those moments with Cam Young, because persistence over time doesn't always guarantee win. There have been some low points for Cam Young. How have you seen his temperament serve him and get to this ultimate win?
Well, Joe, we saw the interview with Amanda, right? And he said, listen, I'm emotional, but he didn't show it. I mean, he has that killer instinct. There were no tears, very matter of fact. And that's the way he has always been, even when he's been close to winning and he finishes second, which he done 7 times before entering the winner's circle today. And I really appreciated that because sometimes these guys get very emotional. We see it and we love it, right? But he doesn't have that emotion in him. He's very matter of fact. And now that he's knocked 1 down, you sense he's ready to knock 2 down. And I thought Jim Nance brought up the comparison with David Duval. It took David a long time. He didn't win till he was 28 years of age. He had 7 runner-up finishes. And then when Duval finally busted down the door, look out. He rose to #1 in the world, won a major championship, could have won some others. And I really believe, and I'm not jumping on the bandwagon, I really believe Cameron Young now is on the verge of something very, very special. You need to get the first one, but I think we saw that lack of emotion. I know it was inside, but I love it when they're very stoic. It's that killer instinct, right? It's the hitman mentality, and I think we saw that in Cameron Young today.
Some stoicism to Duval as well behind those Oakley sunglasses before the tears fell, ultimately serving as the chief foil to the best player in the world at that time for some time. We'll see if Cameron Young, now climbing up to 16th in the FedEx Cup playoff standings, can be a foil to Scottie Scheffler and others. We will preview the playoffs here in just a few moments. Doug, I've already offered Rick the ground to, I guess, chew on the Ryder Cup case of Cameron Young, as we've chewed on many cases before. More points up for grabs, but what does this do for his chances, and do you see him as a part of a winning team a couple weeks from now?
Well, I really think most captains in recent memory have gone chalk. You have your 6 auto picks, and then they usually go with the next 6. In the case of Zach Johnson, he went a little outside with Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth, went with the old guard. And I really believe Keegan Bradley, having been left off that team along with Lucas Glover 2 years ago when they were the hottest players at the time, and I still think they should have been on that team in Rome. And I think Keegan will go outside, and even though Cameron Young is not right now in the top 12, I think he's clearly, and I heard Trevor mention the radar screen, he's clearly on Keegan's radar. I don't think there's any question about it. Chris Gotterup is on that same radar screen. We're going to have a lot of new players for the first time on this Ryder Cup. And I think Cameron Young not only brings great, well, obviously he's hot and he brings great game, but he's a New Yorker. And I think that is something much needed, because it is going to be a wild environment at Bethpage Black outside New York City. And I think a guy who grew up in that environment would be very comfortable. And you heard him again mention to Amanda, it's something that he really wants. And I think he's very close to getting it. And I really believe Keegan Bradley is going to have some new names, some newbies on the team here in a few weeks.
It's a really astute observation from Doug about the way that the United States captains have made selections, especially when you compare that to how the European captains have. The U.S. has been very chalky. I think there is a risk aversion. Nobody wants to be wrong. Nobody wants to be the scapegoat. Nobody wants to be the reason for a losing team because you went outside the box and picked somebody farther down the list. Yet the European squad has to do, I mean, they have a different point system. They have to kind of grade how some golfers play internationally against those types of competitions, or how guys play on the PGA Tour. I mean, Ludwig Oberg, if I remember correctly, when Luke Donald selected him for Rome, that was before he played his first major championship. I mean, that was, by all accounts, a pretty outside-the-box selection, which now looking back, it would be a stunner if Ludwig Oberg is not on this Ryder Cup team for the next 2 decades. So it is really interesting. And then you throw in the Keegan Boys Club. Now that he's the captain, does Keegan lead the Boys Club? He was kind of a victim of the club, and now he gets an opportunity to, I think, change the culture a little bit. So this is I think this could actually be an inflection point for United States Ryder Cup captains, depending on whatever Keegan Bradley does.
Just go full regionals. I mean, we've got Young New York, we've got Gotterup New Jersey, we've got Keegan Vermont, but we'll call it New England. You got any Philly back there for us, Rick? We're just trying to cover the tri-state.
We'll find somebody.
We'll see what the U.S. team rolls out in September at Bethpage. We love rolling these two out here on CBS Sports HQ. Gentlemen, thank you. All right, look at your first-time winners on tour this season. Who changed your perspective? The way you say the name. Ben Griffin at the top of that list, and maybe at the top of Keegan's captain's pick list. See if he can make the team. Cameron Young making his case. Minwoo a winner as well. Andrew Novak getting it done. 12 first-time winners on tour this season and now 1,000 all-time on the PGA Tour.